not to beat a dead horse, but we're talking about the subject of Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Well, we were talking about a lot of other shit before that. We were
Facts.
talking about kings. We were talking about pop, definition of pop star, all that shit. But yeah, and then I looked at Shawn and said, how do you feel about that? Because I don't know. I've never heard you talk about it.
My personal opinion,
I should keep going, bro.
I will. Oh, that shit bangs right to that party next door.
Bro, stop stalling.
I'm sorry, but okay, my personal opinion.
And get to the internet hating you quickly.
My whole basis on the Chris Brown versus Rihanna shit is I think they're both out of pocket. I think they're both out of line. I think Chris Brown
Rihanna?
100% fucked up and should have never laid his hands on a woman. It's never right to lay your hands on a woman. But people love to omit and forget the part where he was getting assaulted and almost put in a position to lose his life in that car before he actually went to physically lay his hands on her. For people that don't know,
how though? Can you explain to me how?
Okay, so this is what I was gonna say. For people that don't know, go watch the documentary. It's still on Netflix. She's talked about it a lot more recently about exactly what transpired, or like not recent, but within the last like 2-3 years. They got into a fight, an altercation, in the club where a girl who she didn't want Chris texting, was texting him. He was like, yo, I wasn't hollering, I wasn't doing nothing. I said, fuck it. But because Ree saw a text pop up on his phone like, oh, you're here? She lost it.
Okay.
So, they leave an event early. I think it was Grammy
This guy's talking
weekend.
like he was there, bro.
Yeah.
It was like Grammy weekend. Leave the event. They're in the car.
11:59, he was here.
Leave the car, or leave the event, get in the car, they're driving. They're on LA's highway. They're on the freeway in LA. They're driving, and Shorty starts texting Chris again, from what they were saying in the documentary. And he's driving, so his phone's on the side. Reed picks it up, sees all these text messages, and instantly insinuates that she's sliding in or they're talking. She starts losing her shit, starts punching him, scratching him, kicking him.
Okay.
Grabs his balls. So again, keep in mind they're in a Lamborghini on the freeway. Okay?
Yeah.
If you've ever driven in a freeway in the States, there ain't no speed limit. And you're in a Lambo, so you're speeding.
I mean, there's a speed limit, but
there is a speed limit, but ain't nobody follows it. Yeah. Correct. So Shorty starts beating up on him, grabbing his nuts while he's driving.
We don't know any of this. Is all alleged, by the way.
No. The police report even confirmed this because when they got to the police station and everything, it was all documented.
He's like kicking.
He's like
going high speed.
So he's going high speed in a Lamborghini, which is
amazing.
and she was able to maneuver herself to get enough force to kick him in a Lamborghini.
Pretty much,
She's like, oh, this
shit was
isn't working
fucked.
to me.
Filming.
Shit was fucked.
I'm not buying it.
adding my nuts.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm not buying it for a second.
Hey, you may not watch the documentary. The police report.
Girl could put a gun to my head, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking do a
know.
single
So,
fucking thing to
here's
her.
my
So
thing.
that
Again,
in my eyes, for that, Chris Brown's a little bitch ass nigga for that. So
again, to finish.
yes, he made I'm gonna finish this real quick. Yes, he made a mistake, but still, bro. Go ahead.
But so to finish it, like your question, right? So like again, it's never right to hit a woman. But like my whole thing on it is again like she blew up after the incident.
Sounds like any girl.
And it was like a lot of situations. Yes,
sounds
100%.
like any girl ever.
But it's like people forget that a lot of that shit is two-sided. Not all the time, but there are times where it's two-sided. And like again,
But why did he start hitting her?
Because so I guess in the documentary it was talking about
you almost hit it like what? You didn't hear what I just said?
I was gonna say that.
Like what? You didn't just hear?
But again, in the documentary, it was
yeah,
the
bro, I
point
heard.
where
So
she was trying to reach for the car keys or something like that as he's like speeding. They both were under the influence, and he was speeding or something, and she tried reaching for the car keys. I think from what it saw, he said "fuck it," was about to stop, and then that's when she started again scratching him up again and like beating up on him to the point where he was swerving, and that was like when the first hit came in, where it was like a stiff arm, what the police report says, and her head went straight into the glass. To get her off of him. Oh shit, my bad. To get her off of him. It was a straight stiff arm.
It was an accident.
Exactly, just like that. Just like that. I meant to put you over there, not into the glass.
So the nigga realized what happened, pulls over, and the doctor continued talking about like he was trying to get himself out of the situation, but she continued egging it on by taking the car keys and throwing them into the bushes. And like
leave him.
Losing her shit, and
walk away.
That's what he was doing. Like in the doc, it says like he was starting to walk away.
I can't believe all of this because you're telling me a story from Chris Brown's like
But again, the police
perspective
report-
and his shit. I
the
don't give a
police
fuck about
report
police
backs it
reports,
up.
bro. Police don't mean a shit. So now you're gonna believe the police out of all the times that you've been talking shit about them.
It's still
Now
fuck
that
the
they're
police.
backing my
No, but
nigga
it's-
Chris.
it's- hold
So
on,
let me
okay,
tell you
so
something.
hold on.
The police, we gotta trust and listen to the police.
With
I don't
this,
give a
it's
fuck
not-
about a
it's
police
not
report.
trust the
It's not
police.
about that.
Hold
It's
on,
about
it's not trust the police.
To
It's
me,
the situation with this.
Okay.
It was more than just the police that kind of, again, she herself has come out and been like, yo, I feel like, she's like, did I deserve any of it? No. 100%.
No,
but she's
not a
also
second.
said that she was in the wrong,
Right.
and she did inflict and cause a lot of what the fuck transpired. And in court, like, again, she's the same one that was in court with him, like, yo, defending and being like, not even defending, still saying fuck him.
well, I know
because-
that they still had a thing afterwards. for a
Literally,
little
right?
bit. I'm
And,
not
like,
saying
you know-
anything. I'm just saying that that's a bitch ass move.
It, no, 100%.
Same with Tory, it's a bitch-ass
Anytime you
move.
hit a woman, it's a bitch ass move, 100%. But again, we can't just look at
That's
it.
just
and be
that's
like,
what knocks points off for me though. I'm not gonna overlook that. It's like with R. Kelly. I'm not gonna bang
But
R.
okay, so
Kelly
then
out in
why-
the streets.
So here's my question.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
here's my question. Then why do we still let her get off the hook with
Because
literal
it's not
assault
as bad.
That if any woman were to
not as
ever
bad.
hold on, if any woman does that to you, and let's say you never lay your hands on her,
Yeah.
she can go and spend
She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
for the same shit.
No, but okay.
So you're gonna let a shorty almost kill you? Like, I'm not saying I would
Here's-
kill a woman.
here's
but are you
what
gonna
it-
almost
here's-
let a shorty kill you?
Hold on. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
There's the reason Chris doesn't get off the hook
Yeah.
is because Chris is a repeat offender.
Exactly.
This isn't the first time.
He's hit multiple women.
Not even
that,
and
or,
not even
abusive.
before, but after Rihanna.
Exactly.
There's been multiple cases of him like in clubs,
Yeah.
meeting other
He's just
women,
a
and they've
abusive
all had
person.
that like physical altercation where he was either beating up on them, and it was
See, I
it
disagree
wasn't
with that.
it wasn't
How you
always
don't know him,
instigated.
bro?
I know, but
That's like that's what I don't
the
understand.
reason
And
saying I
like,
disagree.
I'm not saying that like in that if we're isolating that specific situation,
Yes.
they're both in the wrong.
Yeah.
100%.
And yeah, obviously Chris shouldn't have done anything and should have just like left it and then whatever. But if we're looking at it in the context from then till now, and the reason why Rihanna gets off it and Chris gets off it is because
Chris
Chris
doesn't.
doesn't get off it because he's a repeat offender constantly.
Yeah.
Rihanna hasn't been
even
out
if
here
you
beating up
don't- Even
niggas.
if you take women out of the equation, Chris is a constant physical altercator. He
It's
gets
like Trey
in-
Songz, bro.
Yeah,
Especially
kinda.
well, right
But-
now Trey
but,
Songz
like,
is getting into it, bro.
But like he always is constantly getting into like physical altercations with other people, and so he's only like
The
he's
public
essentially
opinion
putting
then
the
gets
nail in his
swayed.
own coffin
Yeah.
because he's showing that like that's just his character. So that's why Chris doesn't get off.
Okay, so
constantly.
Even if he is a good
That's
guy,
even-
it's just
even-
public opinion.
Even if like Rihanna like admits it and like when you explain it like that, it's like yeah, I look at that situation, it's like yeah, they both fucked up, like
Yeah.
for sure. But that's the only reason why Chris doesn't really get off because he's a repeat offender.
So my counter to that, and this is again, so this is partly me being a fan, and also me trying to be as subjective as I can and take a step out because, like, I'm one of those where I'm like, hey, you know what? You did this, yes. Can you redeem yourself and fix yourself? Yes. Okay, and then as soon as other shit starts coming up, I gotta look at it as both sides. So a lot of the claims that ended up coming out years after this one incident about abuse and stuff like that, a lot of that shit has actually been proven to be wrong or thrown out of court because it was, oh, Chris didn't want to fuck this shorty. Boom, boom, boom. She goes to the press. He beat me. He did this. Like, he literally just beat another case where a shorty in New York was saying that he beat the fuck out of her. What ended up turning out, she went to the bathroom, hid herself, and took videos and texted her girls and was like, Chris Brown's assaulting me. He's trapping me in this house, blah, 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 blah. Went to court. Everything got thrown out. As soon as more shit came out and people came up and spoke on it, all of it got thrown out. So it's like, at some point in time,
That's
with
weird.
a lot of these cases, some people, like, once you have a sign of a bad image on you,
Yeah.
people are gonna jump on that and
that's
start
why
to
it goes
ride
to
that
show.
bandwagon. And it's like,
You know?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I'm not
like,
saying that.
'cause
Like,
I
yeah, there's
agree.
obviously fakes, right? It's
And
the
I
same
agree.
thing with
There
anything.
is some, like the whole Carucci incident. Yes, 100%. Like that one, you can't argue. He did bruise her hands by grabbing her. Yes.
Yeah.
That shit, you can't argue. It's there in the pudding. Yes. But like, also, so my little bit of a defense for him as well is after this whole Rihanna shit. You gotta remember. So this is again, like you can't really use this as it's not an excuse,
Wait, is he
but
on?
it's for me why I kind of give him more of a benefit of a doubt is because I look at it and I was like, okay, so this nigga's been a child star since he was like 12, right? Never really was able to grow up, never had a father figure, never had any of that shit, okay? A lot of us can probably say the same shit, but for me it's like, once that Rihanna situation happened, imagine you fuck up, quote unquote, and only one side of the story gets out that you fucked up with arguably at that moment in time one of the top 2 biggest women in the world. Okay, your entire life is fucked, and you're a kid because he was way younger than her.
Yeah,
you're fucked. Especially when Jay-Z's also backing her. You have the entire Rock Nation that pretty much runs the music industry backing Shorty. Your entire career, bro, no matter where you turn, no matter what you do, your side of the story is never going to A, get out until way later on, and B, they have the ability to essentially just block everything that you do. Any and every little thing that you do, and all of a sudden you're a kid. And that's where you go into like depression, or your head starts going into places and you start, you know what I mean? Like, that shit starts to happen because I've seen it with other niggas in like way smaller situations, but literally get trapped and fucked up.
Yeah, but Chris still made millions of dollars, and here's
his
the difference.
Money went down
because
huge around that time, though.
he's listen. You have no sympathy for me for Chris Brown, bro. Child star.
For that,
money.
Yeah.
Out the ass. There's people that have $0 to their name that have exactly the same issues he has and can't go and drive a Lamborghini around and jump into a swimming pool with a bunch of models and go get fucked up and do blow and do this and that to ease their mind and ease their pain and their depression. You know what I'm saying? He has a billion outlets. He could have put all that money into, you know, and probably eventually did put it into therapy and getting his mental health right and doing that shit. But a lot of people don't have that shit. So to me, I don't fucking.
Because they still are people. It's the same thing.
You are a person, but you have so much more than any other person.
That still doesn't change.
It changes. Let me tell you something, bro. That changes a billion fucking things. Let me tell you a billion reasons why. Every dollar he has is a fucking reason why. And a person that doesn't can't go walk into a mall and do shopping therapy. Can't walk into the best doctors and fix their mother when their she has cancer and can't pay for shit. Like, he can do things that other people can't do that can change the outcome of his life. Whereas if your argument is he's still a person, yes, he's a person who has more money than most people.
But see, my thing is, okay, so this goes to like,
and yes, he still has his issues, but he's in the limelight. He's made his mistakes. You're still better off than most people.
But this is where the argument comes, and this is a tall-tailed old athlete argument, where it's like athletes are always saying, or like the whole shut up and dribble shit, where it's like because you're an athlete or because you have so much money or because you're such in a position of power, you're not allowed to say or say things or feel the same way or go through things the same way. Or
no, but he's saying that.
No, but I'm saying, or fight your depressions or do this shit in the way because you got money. That's essentially on the lines of saying the same thing.
It is, but guess what, bro? Majority of the problems in the world are money, and people. The only reason people look at it like that is because they see you on Instagram flexing with your Lamborghini, see you living it up when they look around in their life and they see that we can't afford shit.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
False sense of
No, because guess what? I've always wanted to have that shit, and I've always wanted to be that person.
Again,
that's how it is, and that's how like this world operates. Is people have and people don't, and to me, people that have. They have issues in their brain because they've never been loved or they've never been whatever because money's been always their thing. People that don't have are always a lot happier with the shit that they have and whatever. But when they hear people that have more than them complain, it's like listening to a king complain about all of his quarrels when you're fucking growing his food and feeding his family and doing all this shit for him, and you
see. Personally, I feel more.
And these
sympathy.
people are put on pedestals because they're celebrities and they do certain things, so it's not even on the same level of that shit.
See, for me, it's not sympathy. I honestly can't think of a better word right now, so excuse me. But for better lack of words, it's not. I feel more sympathy for the person that's at the top that has nothing. Remorse for the person that's at the top that has nothing than a person at the bottom who still is more comfortable with their situation and able to be more.
But not everybody at the bottom is comfortable with their situation. True enough, but like that is a rare person.
Everybody gets asked, like, would you rather have $1 million and be alone, or would you rather be broke but know that you have family and friends?
And how many people
I'm taking
are picking
being broke with family and friends.
And no, majority. Let me tell you something. Majority of people aren't doing that, Sean.
But okay, so
if I'm talking grand scale,
we cannot say majority.
Yes, I can, because I know how this world operates. The whole reason I don't know how you look at this world, but you need to look at it in real life. Because
I-
real
I-
life
my-
is about this.
So wait, if I were to
Paper,
tell
bro.
you,
If you
listen,
have
so
money,
hold
you
on.
can do anything in the world.
Even that low key irks me because it's like,
But it's
dog,
the
if I were to
truth.
go through my entire life story for you and tell you from ground zero to where I'm at now,
Bro,
you wouldn't be able to say that.
I could say that. You could tell me whatever you want. I'll say the same thing to you that I'm saying right now
Yeah,
because
do
it's all from my personal experience. Same.
But that's what I'm saying.
But you're not gonna change it because I've seen more than your life story, or I've seen more than his life story, or her life story.
No.
In
I'm
this
saying for you
world,
saying
bro.
that to me.
In this
I'm saying
world, bro.
my story for me.
No, I
You
understand
can't.
what you're saying, but I'm talking about in general right now. Population of the Earth, everybody here on this planet. Go ahead and talk about how in China and in India, all these people that have nothing and are growing food for everybody around the world. Go and tell them how big of a problem these motherfuckers at the top have. That Chris Brown can't go anywhere because he's getting pestered by paparazzi. That Kanye West can't buy another house because they won't let him into another neighborhood because he's black. Blah, 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 blah. They don't give a fuck about these kinds of things.
Issues that they're going like those aren't the issues that I'm talking about when I talk about like when you have money. Again, it's like back to the question: would you rather be broke and know that you have family and friends and less issues, or would you rather be rich with nobody around you? With nobody.
Most people are gonna, in a group of people, are gonna say, "I'd rather have my family." They're in their heads are like, "I'm gonna take that fucking money and I'm gonna go get some new friends and new family.
Yeah,
Fuck this shit." That's majority of people because majority of people hate their situation, bro. Not everybody's as happy as you are. You know what I'm saying? Most people hate their life and are depressed, especially right now. So, looking at things in a positive light and things, that's great. That's a good thing. But you gotta understand that majority of people in this world don't think like that. So when I talk to a lot of people, they're not fucking happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to be very happy. And I know I can tell from body language from people how their life has been or whatever. Kind of, you could see it on everybody's face. It's written. A lot of people can't hide shit. And majority of people don't want to hear, or like they just indulge. It's two ways. Either you indulge in a celebrity so much and that's your fucking life, or you disconnect from that shit and you don't give a fuck about it. There's only two ways to look at it. You're not kinda into celebrities and kinda into fashion and kinda whatever. You either are in that shit or out of that shit because it's the way that your brain operates on that kind of empathy level. These people have so much. Why would I care?
Let me ask you a question. Hypothetically speaking, let's say you don't find a wallet, but you see a wallet just sitting on the ground, right?
Yeah.
It's there for, let's say, like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
No one's come to grab it.
Yeah.
No one at all. You grab it and you notice, let's say there's $200,
Yeah.
and you look at the license, or say there's nothing in there at all. What do you do with the wallet? Do you take it, the money?
That's 2 bills
I've
in the
returned it
pocket.
to police before.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. I call bull.
Deadass.
Bullshit.
Bro,
What are the police gonna do? There's
deadass.
no ID or anything in there.
I'm dead ass, bro. I work in a mall, and there's police that walk in the mall. Especially when I used to work at WEM, there's police that are there. They have their own police force. I've literally found money. I found IDs. I found tons of shit.
So you
with
just
bare
found a
cash.
bunch of money and you just said, "I found
I'm
this
not
money
keeping it.
right here. I'd like to return
What do
this."
you think
keeping
the police are gonna do? Well, we can't do anything about it.
All right,
'cause there's
thanks
no
for the
ID.
cash, kid.
Okay, they can take it, and that's gonna be on their conscience, knowing that they don't know who the fuck they just fucked over.
Yeah.
I don't give a
That's
fuck.
on their conscience. And again, you love to say it too. Karma's always gonna come back.
Karma's
to you.
quick.
So if you don't,
But-
if that's somebody that was on their,
Let me tell you something.
dead
That's
in
karma being
last-
good to me.
huh?
I said, let me tell you something. That's karma being good to me and bad to someone else. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you,
But okay, so when
Buddha.
that shit
Thank
comes
you,
back
Vishnu.
towards you, and
Hey,
something
kick it on to the
negative
next.
happens.
That's balancing out, bro. I got that 2 G's though. So I'm good. For that week, I'm good. And let me tell you something. That's how my life works.
I just move different.
You can't always have positive things because as soon as you do that, that negative thing that's gonna happen is gonna be fucking massive. The more positive shit that you have happening in your life, when that one bad thing happens, detrimental because you can't face shit. So once you face shit and hardship, you're actually a better person. So majority of those people that have come up celebrity-wise or grown up rich and been posh or whatever, they're not real people. You talk to them, they don't have real experiences. They have travel experiences, they've been on vacation a bunch of times, but they don't know how to fucking operate with regular people. When you have someone that's been through fucking shit, depression, lost their mom, lost this, been through whatever, and they're still straight as an arrow, good to go. Do you know what I'm saying?
See, so again, I'll just say I'm
Different
built,
types of
I'm built
people,
different.
bro.
I may be a one-off. I may be a one-shoot. guarantee there's
a
probably
million,
millions of people that think the same way I do, but I'm just built different then.
I think
and I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with other niggas being built different for a fact.
I think that though, like you're putting it in the terms that like, well, I mean, you're looking at the glass very empty, and you're looking at the glass very full. You have to balance it too, because there are people who are going to be maybe in Shawn's situation, but if Shawn starts making millions and millions and millions of dollars, you're gonna build that disconnect with people because, like, you can't obviously, you can't talk to people who are poorer than you because they are gonna look at you the way Jaylin looks at rich people, right? But there are also gonna be people who are richer than you who are gonna look down at you and look at you like you're.
And
poor.
that's not how I look at rich people. I love rich people, but that's a perspective I know exists because I've hung around and hang around with people that look at rich people like that. People that have money, they're like, all right, yo, that's a lick, that's a this, that's a whatever. So to them, you know what I'm saying? It's a different type of...
but like that's like, you know, that's like brushing with like, I don't know. It's not in like the sense that like I'm thinking about it in the sense of like somebody who has like $10 million spending that daily is nothing to them.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. You're thinking of it in a person who might.
No. I'm thinking of that type of person. Someone that just has a fucking like money, like generational wealth. Like their children don't work. They show up. It's like the I'm sorry to say, but it's like the dudes that own West End. Mm-hmm. You ever seen the sons or whatever? They would come into the brothers. They come into Cactus, do whatever they want, stay there till whatever, run a bill up, act like fucking whatever, and bounce without doing anything just because, you know, their family is powerful and they have whatever. So it's those types that I'm talking about that people see, and when they talk about da 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 da. I live in a palace. I have butlers. I have maids, but yet I have problems. Yes, you have problems. We understand it, but I don't really want to hear your problem because I'm not out here on a soapbox complaining about how my mom has cancer and this da 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 da. I'm not out here talking about that with my poor ass life. So why the fuck should I be here listening to you talk about your shit? If you don't give a fuck, if I were to see that person in the street and tell them my quarrels, do you think they'd give a fuck? No. I doubt it highly. I doubt it. I doubt it so highly they wouldn't even acknowledge my existence.